Brain Trust Sports Podcast. This is not fun, y'all. This is not being fun right now. We got to do a really unfun podcast again. Saints lose to the Falcons on all pro uh best kicker of all time, Young Wei Koo, and he plays the Saints. I
Dude,
don't think this guy
ice
misses a field
water.
goal when he plays us, dude. It's
Golly,
it's
dude.
disgusting. That
Ice
was good from
water.
62, bro. That was 60 plus
Oh
good.
yeah,
Like it was
man.
nuts how easily he drilled that
I
one.
said
So
I said you can't let them
um
get past the 50 or we're donezo.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So we can get to the
the
good
one
and
play
everything.
happened, but
So we'll talk about a couple of good things that we saw that we really liked in the game and everything. Taysom looked great until he got hurt, obviously, which is a huge bummer, but he looked really
Yeah.
good still. I thought the O line, even though, considering the issues that you had, looked far better than what I thought they would, especially in some run game stuff, even though they took away some things. Alvin Kamara was seeing that cutback lane all game. And it
Yeah.
was great to see him
Mhm.
still, even though he had some
He
terrible
looks
negative
smooth.
runs,
He looks
still
smooth.
averaged over 4 yards a carry. I thought the Saints did a great job of getting down the field and adjusting to some things at the end of the game. It was just a little too late, man. Mason, what did you like about the game? I know it's not much, but what did you like about the game?
Hey man, I still have like high hopes and I still saw a lot of stuff that like gives me
Yeah.
hope. And you see those blips of like that potent offense still, and those
Mhm.
big plays, and we can move the ball, man. We can move the ball, we can run the ball, obviously, and running the ball is
Yeah.
huge. I feel like if we just get a game where we don't have like a pivotal piece of our offensive game plan go down in the middle of the game, if we can
Is
just
that so
have a
much to
full
ask?
game, no, like if we just have a full game of our starters from the
Yeah.
beginning to the end, please.
Yeah.
So we don't have to adjust. And I mean, I get that it's the NFL, and that's one thing too. I think we need more contingency on. I think we need to start thinking about like, hey, if this guy goes down, what are we going to do? And like
Yeah.
maybe because obviously injuries are happening, and I think having more contingencies for that would be nice. But I mean. Again, I saw a potent offense still when needed and at times and sometimes not. But
Yeah.
running the ball is a huge in this league, and we seem to be able to do that, man. We did that in the last 3 out of 4 games. So
Yeah.
um, as long as we can keep running the ball and our defense is still stout. Um, I mean, our defense has allowed 40, I think 47 points in the last 4 games. It's like an average of like 12
We
points a
get up
game
two
or something
touchdowns in the last
stupid
two
like
games
that.
total.
Yeah.
yeah.
47 points in 4 games. That's crazy, man. Did we score that in one game? Almost, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Matt,
that's
What'd
the
you like? Oh,
positive
I'm
right
sorry.
there, brother. The defense,
Yeah.
man. Defense is still there,
Yeah.
and our offense has glimmers. And I
Yeah.
think the more Kubiak is, I mean, again, guys, this is our third game or fourth game in
Mhm.
Kubiak's offense. So everybody's still learning. Things are still fresh. I think the more and
Yeah.
more he's going to get more comfortable with Derek, he's going to get more comfortable with all the guys. The guys are going to get more comfortable with him.
Yeah.
I still think it's really early to kind of put a thermometer on it, but I see those plays and those those drives sometimes that are just like, yeah, we got it still. And if we could just piece this together for a whole game, and I think that comes with reps, Kubiak reps too, mental reps. So
Yeah, he
that's
needs them,
that's
man,
where I'm
because
at.
he called a bad game again.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
did call a
And
bad game. We gotta
sometimes,
be
yeah,
we gotta be
sometimes.
honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Matt, what did you like about the game?
What I like about the game,
Yeah,
um,
it's not much. I know your boy Taysom got 2 tuds, and you were like pinching your nipples with excitement after that second touchdown, probably. Matt is a huge Taysom fanboy, but no,
well,
we
I
can
mean,
leave that until.
we had a
They share the
productive
same
game
last name.
at the beginning. Yeah,
When he's
well,
in the
that's
game, we
easy
score.
enough. Yeah, that's easy enough. Um, but I mean, our offense was doing well for the first couple of drives out there.
Yeah,
It sucks, like Mason said, to start off in the hole, giving up a special teams touchdown after a
yeah,
defensive stop on our first possession on defense. We stop them, and for that to happen, it's like, oh, great. And then we march it down the field, get a touchdown. Overall, actually, I don't hate the game. That big play along with
I
the
hated this game.
well, from the standpoint of I don't think we don't look that bad. It's a loss, but it's not that it wasn't that hard of a loss to me. there's a lot of things really that you can look at to clean up. Taking points when they're available is another thing. I said it last week. It
Yeah.
happened last week. I say it again, unfortunately, this week. Defensively, we gave up 4 field goals, right? Defensively,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think 4.
we gave up no touchdowns.
Yep.
So defensively, not to keep
That's
saying the same
huge.
thing, but we have a great defense, great
That's so
defense.
big.
Yeah.
And
Super well
Tyron
defense.
was out. Demario Davis was out. It
Willie
was,
Gay
and
went
we,
out
yeah, Willie
early.
Gay went out early. We were depleted on defense, and for us to still play like that,
Mhm.
I still feel good on the defensive side of the ball. Mason said it
Yeah.
on offense. Like we still show that we can do it, but we're going to have to make some adjustments to not having Taysom in so many different
Yeah.
formations, apparently. And that
Mm.
losing that weapon proves to be pretty hard to replace, it looks like.
Yeah.
So,
Or at least when you built your game plan around it, or you built a lot of
Yeah.
plays around it to start, if you go into practice, you're saying, all right, we're going to run X amount of plays with Taysom, or,
yeah.
we're
Well,
going to get Taysom the ball. Then that goes out the window. You
there's
got to
a
go back. You got to go plan B.
yeah, there's a lot of plays of him not getting the ball, of him just blocking,
Right.
running a
Oh,
route,
yeah.
just being a
All kinds of
decoy.
factors, right?
And so whenever he goes down, it doesn't look good. But towards the end of the game, actually, it started to look good with the different play calls and routes we were calling as far as in the passing game to utilize our speed with Shaheed and
Yeah.
Olave. But grand scheme of things, it was still ugly. We still lost, but I don't feel like the sky is falling, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah, so you're about to go play the Chiefs, and you're going to go to 2-3 because you're not going to be able to beat Taylor Swift's
Whoa.
witchcraft. I'm not there. I'm sorry. Monday
Okay.
Night Football,
We're doing our
Taylor Swift.
predictions. You want to do early predictions?
I'm frustrated, man. And Chiefs have a good defense, and I think,
They
and
have a
we were
really good
talking about this
defense.
right before we came on, and right before you joined in too, Mason. The Chiefs are. Y'all can call me crazy if you want, but Matt's huffing some copium over there too, and the eternal optimist. So there's a world where the Chiefs and the Saints are just you could flip their records and it would make total sense. They have a very good defense and a very bad offense right now. The Saints have actually looked better this year than the Chiefs in a lot of spots. The Chiefs are just getting by on defense and some Mahomes magic basically at the end of the day. There's a very real world where these guys are 2-2 right now as well. So I think that game's gonna be very even. And I would not be surprised if the Saints won that game at all. I just right now with these injuries and this lack of consistent play calling right now, your Saints just don't look very good. And I think you could tell me you could have any varying opinion that you want of the Saints right now, and I think you can be right to some extent. I think you can say this is a very good team that's flawed. You could say that this is a team that cannot handle injury, that has middling play at too many key positions, like tight end and O line. You could say that, man, if this team can just get healthy and piece it together for the stretch run when McCoy comes back, that they can absolutely be a very tough out in the playoffs. I would believe all of that if you told that to me. I just don't know after seeing this kind of loss again. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think the Falcons are a good team. Kirk Cousins looks like shit. He's not they're not going to
They
do
almost
much
beat the
this.
Chiefs. They almost beat the Chiefs that you're talking about. So
I know, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like I don't
NFL is
know that
weird right now.
it is weird. There's a lot of two and
They
two
didn't
teams out
score a
there, man.
touchdown. Like, how
Yeah,
could
they're not a good team, man. They are not a
no?
good team.
Like
They're
we
not a good
shot
team, and you
ourselves in the
lost to
foot
them.
with a bazooka,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like with the
yeah,
special teams touchdown, and then that
Our
pick
defense is
six.
really good though,
yeah,
fellas. So
Oh
yeah.
them
yeah,
I just
not
said
scoring a touchdown isn't that crazy.
just like we literally said this. I said this about the Eagles game last week, and I'll say it again. Just like the Green Bay game last year, it is so tough to make the playoffs in the NFL, even with the amount of teams that can make it in. This will be just another game, just like the Eagles game, where if the Saints miss out by a game, we're gonna be like, this was another one that we should have fucking had, and
Oh,
we
this one
pissed it
hurt
away,
worse than the
man.
Philly game for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Kick a field
absolutely,
goal.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so look, we can get to there's nothing to discuss with Shaheed not fair catching the ball and letting that thing just go out of bounds. And even if it goes a coffin corner kick at the one, that's still better than you trying to take a weird angle to do a fair catch that you have no business catching.
He was feeling himself,
And
man.
you gave him 7 points for
Yeah.
absolutely no reason.
He was feeling himself. He wanted to make a
We
spark.
all got I got into it with you guys about the Derek Carr pick six, which looks less on Derek than anything else after just reviewing film on it more and more and more and more and more. The Derek Carr pick, once we looked at it, it looked like a wide receiver screen to Olave that literally no offensive lineman chipped on Judon, and it was a throw to his shoulder pad. Judon jumps up actually, which forces that ball to go up into the air. And it happens, man. Is it a really bad pick and a bad decision by Derek? Could he have possibly, just decided to roll out, throw it away? It was just a bad play call. Yeah, I've seen that happen a million times when you had other players, other great players. I don't know. I don't want to say great players to make that decision. He could have fallen, taken a sack on that. It was just it was bad luck, and that's 14 points right there. That's the game. Two decisions right there just changed the course of the game. The Falcons had a horseshoe up their ass, and the Saints did not. And it sucks. And now you got to pick yourself off the ground, and you got to go to Kansas City and play Monday Night Football against the freaking Chiefs without Rasheed Rice. And I don't know, man. I'm super frustrated. Derek Carr was 28 of 36 for 239 yards in the pick. He took one sack. Kamara had 4.1 yards per carry. My man has broken ribs,
He's run.
and we gave him 26 touches. 26 touches with broken ribs, man. Like, this is tough. This is tough, tough,
I
tough.
mean, he's he's part of that decision making as well too, right? So
I
he's
know,
not
man. And
like saying, "Nah, I'm
Yeah.
I know.
good." He's saying, "Let me fucking give me the fucking ball so I can win this game." That's what he
Yeah,
was
for real.
saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse my
So for
French.
you
So
RPG nerds out
No,
there,
that
for you RPG nerds, it's that contract year buff that he's got right now. He's
right,
like
right.
he's
yeah,
just
that
gonna
one
tough
year
it out
touch
and
or
hopefully
that
we get
one 1 yard touchdown at the end of the game. That was a tough one.
got
That
That
blown
was
up in
an
the
wasn't an easy
angry
backfield.
one.
run, brother.
Yeah.
Got blown up in the backfield,
He
didn't matter.
willed his way into the end zone on that one, brother.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm
So we
frustrated
got
that.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go
I
ahead,
was
man.
just saying we got to talk about the Paulson and Debo PI. I mean, if that
Oh,
doesn't happen,
bruh.
that's a huge pivotal mistake again.
Yeah,
And
Oh
that's
yeah.
three mistakes, and not to mention all the other penalties. There's just a lot
Man.
of bonehead,
Yeah, there were a lot
undisciplined.
of penalties. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. To shoot
hmm
drives.
We had a beautiful pass over the middle to Olave that was called back late in the game
Mhm.
because the Shaheed was in motion and he was running forward just a
decided to
tiny
drift up
bit.
the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
you can't that
that.
can't happen, man. In those pivotal moments in a tight game, it just can't happen. That's
So
he's not
let's talk about
that's
what you can
undisciplined.
control. All
But
right.
all
Yeah,
those
what's all you
guys,
can control?
Shaheed going into motion
Yeah,
like that, that's new to Shaheed. He didn't do
yes.
that last year. He didn't do
No,
that with Pete Carmichael. So
No,
this
he
is
no.
all
didn't.
But
new to
No.
these guys. So that little
he's a
mistake is due to it's because it's new. And a lot of this shit's because of this offense is new. But
Yeah.
it's still promising at the end of the day, and it's going to get fine-tuned, and the players are going to get it better, and it's going to become second nature to them. So I just
let's
say pump the brakes a little
so
bit. Maybe I'm too
segue
optimistic, but yeah, go ahead.
segue
Go ahead.
segue. What's not new to the Saints is the same shit play calling, relying on the run when it's not there, causing your offense to go into the absolute crappa for the better part of two quarters, where we had, and I was texting you guys about it, I think we had 4 possessions with 87 total yards, no points. That is 100% on play calling. There were runs that were not there. This offensive line, which to give them credit, I thought they did okay for the most part.
In
I
the
would expect
beginning,
holds. I would expect holds. I would expect, motions and stuff like that to, I would expect illegal formations. I would expect holds, and those things happen. Um,
yeah,
what I truly got frustrated by, and what worked on these touchdown drives, which I don't understand why we didn't do this more. Raheem Morris will play two safeties high, nothing over the top. Okay. So that takes Shaheed away. Okay. You have two very, very elite receivers that are fast and quick that can squat down in these zones. And we saw this for 15 years. Drew Brees ate up so many defenses by telling his receivers where to go on these routes and having intelligent enough receivers to squat down on some of these routes to find the soft spot in the zone to get these easy completions. It's literally how we scored the touchdown at the end of the game. Moving this ball down the field and just squatting on routes, man, running these little inside crossers and everything. And Clint Kubiak did not let Derek Carr get enough of a rhythm until it was just too fucking late, man. It was really, really bad play call by Clint. And he really needs to start figuring something out when it comes to really just learning this right mix of, yes, we can be a good running team. The Saints had 80 yards rushing, I think, in the first half, right? They were close to 100, I think, in the first half. It's play calling, man. It's just like the
I
Eagles
don't
game.
know
It's
if it's
play
all
calling
play
again.
calling.
Yeah, it
There was
absolutely
some
is,
bad
man.
ones, but it's not all. Some of those
It
drives were
absolutely is.
killed by penalties. Some of those drives were
Yeah, they
killed
were.
by blown blocks. That's not
Yeah.
play calling.
Yeah, no,
That's
but
not play
I don't
calling.
disagree with that,
And you
man. But
can't, and Clint
that red
can't
zone, man, was
he
absolutely play
can't
calling,
pull you
man.
out of a hole that you create, man. You can't just always, you know.
That is the number one reason why the Saints are not going to be much of anything this year outside of hopefully a playoff team. Because you're right, they're just not good enough, man. They're not elite. Where are they elite at on offense? Where are they elite? And
They have an elite
I
running
can't.
game right now, I think.
Not
Yeah.
this offensive line's all beat the fuck up.
Well, the last three out
Not
of
this
four
O line's
games,
all
we
beat the
ran all
fuck up.
over these dudes.
I mean,
Yeah,
we had
haven't
80
we,
yards with
Only game that
haven't we
was we
run
really,
for over 100 yards every game
yeah,
this year?
yeah.
yeah,
I
we
would,
ran
but
over 100.
outside of Alvin Kamara, and sometimes Taysom. I guess I was going from Taysom timeless because this guy's 34 years old. Now I gotta call him sometimes Taysom because he's in the game sometimes. Unfortunately, he's not
Yeah,
healthy.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
way he
think that you're right. I
plays,
think the run game, when the
we had
run
to
game's
figure that was
cooking,
coming.
absolutely elite, dude. Absolutely elite when it's cooking. We
Yeah,
saw it for the first two games. The Panthers are
defense
an
is
absolutely
elite.
terrible team. Defense is absolutely elite, but I'm talking about specifically on offense. If
So
I
you
had to
have an
pick,
elite running game, an elite defense, and then you got a passing game that I feel like is gonna get better, and it's
I
gonna
don't know
get
that you can save.
smoother and more consistent.
I
Yeah.
I think our weakness right now is our offensive line
and play calling.
and the newness of the system and sometimes
Yeah.
sloppiness that brings. That's my take on what's going on right
If the
now.
four and out, if the four downs inside the five where you don't get a touchdown didn't happen, and you score a touchdown there, I could tell you that yes, we do have an elite running game. But Clint
That was
ran
one of the
into
dumbest
a brick wall.
decisions I think I've ever seen.
What,
The
that
fact
third and
that,
Yeah,
goal run? The
yeah,
third and goal run?
the outcome, like it's
Yeah.
yeah, you
if
take
you
the
know it's
points.
4 down territory, yeah, if you know it's 4 down territory,
Yeah,
it always goes with the asterisks unless it's a negative play. It was a
Right.
yeah,
negative play. You
Right.
take the points. I
You're
was
on the
like, are
six
you?
yard line. You don't go for that, man. I'm sorry, dude. You have
That
plenty of
was
time on the clock. You get
the
within
worst thing I've
three.
ever seen.
mhm,
You trust your defense who's been playing all game, who's been playing all season.
Yep.
yeah,
You have to put your eggs in the defense's basket, man.
yeah,
That's your identity right now is your defense. So if you can't trust your identity right now and kick the
yeah,
field goal and trust that they'll make a stop,
yeah,
then what are you trusting, man? And that's DA, brother.
yeah.
That was a
Oh yeah.
DA
I'm not,
choke.
I'm not
So
going devil's advocate
so we
here.
haven't
I'm
even
not going
said
devil's
Dennis's
advocate here.
name. We haven't even said the word Dennis yet the whole time. How long have we been on this
Oh yeah.
pod?
Yeah, but I'm not. Dennis
No,
We
didn't
I
haven't
fumble
said
the
it
said
at
ball
the
on the one
Dennis.
beginning.
We
yard
said
line,
I
bro.
said
Clint.
it at the
We
Yeah,
said
beginning. We
Derek
should have
Carr.
taken
We said
the points
yeah.
again. But
Dennis
yes,
is
it
the
is
reason
DA.
why you're
It's
even in
all
these
on
games,
DA.
bro. Dennis
Oh,
is
the
the reason why these
defense,
games are
baby.
close
You're
right now.
right. But
Yeah,
I just wish I wish that we could
yeah,
just flip around Clint Kubiak head coach and Dennis Allen defensive coordinator. And just Clint, you make all the game time calls and you run the offense, and then DA, you just defense,
yeah.
baby.
So let me tell you. So, and you guys, you're gonna go want to look back at the tape and everything on that fourth down play. It's a zero blitz. They brought the house and just played
Yeah.
man all the way around.
Yeah.
Juwan Johnson was wide open in the middle for a touchdown.
Yeah, I knew you were going
But
to say that somebody was going to be wide open because obviously on a
but
zero blitz,
yeah,
somebody is always wide
yeah.
open.
Yeah.
But
But
that's
he's
the
not that
reason
good. Derek doesn't trust him,
he wasn't
and
looking
you
for
never
him.
even looked at him. Yeah, you
Right.
never looked for him, right?
Right.
Because
You didn't have enough time to
and
scan to go.
Yeah.
Who are you going to look at?
yeah, 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 yeah. No,
Who,
but that's what I'm saying.
You
That
know,
all I'm trying to and look,
you
and
can't
I
blame
get
Derek on that
where.
one, brother. Please don't. I
No,
feel like
I'm
that's what
not.
you're
I'm
doing.
not
Okay.
blaming Derek on that
Okay.
one. I'm telling you why he didn't throw it because he doesn't fucking trust him, and he shouldn't. Juwan Johnson had a pass in the flat earlier in that game. He had a
I
pass in
don't
the
know.
flat. Where,
I
I
don't know
don't know
that he
why
doesn't
he's.
trust Jawan Johnson. It's just that he's not the first person he's gonna. That's not the play that was designed, and he didn't have enough time to go
Oh
to a
man,
second read or third read.
if you are, and I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not an NFL quarterback. I'm not any type of quarterback. But
Hmm.
if all the pressure's coming up the middle, that means the middle space is vacated. Something's got to be up there, right? Something's got to be wide open right in the middle of the field, you know.
It's really easy
But
to
you're
say
right.
from my house in Baton
No,
Rouge
yeah, absolutely. It's easy to
without
say that where I'm at right
300
now.
pound,
Yeah,
what, nine, eight, nine dudes running at
yeah.
me. It's
With
really
this
easy to
patchwork
say.
offensive line, yeah, with this patchwork offensive line, I totally get it, man.
Yeah, I'd be scared
Yeah, my
shitless
biggest
behind that offensive line if I was Derek Carr, and I'd be making all kind of crazy decisions probably myself.
what
But I
my
get what
biggest
you're saying, though, man.
frustrations.
I get what you're saying, man. I get you.
Yeah, look, and I'm just I'm playing devil's advocate here because I'm just trying to explain the thought process. I agree we should have kicked the field goal. Let me just say that right now before you guys
Hmm.
try to string me up or anything, okay? But the
No, you're
thought
good.
process and it literally worked. If you we just fucked up the game at the end on defense is if you don't get the touchdown there, they're backed up. They have to play conservative because a turnover absolutely kills them. And you get the ball
Yeah,
back in plus territory with less time with a chance to win the game. All those things happened. You scored a touchdown. You took the lead. And defense didn't hold up, man. It's play action
yeah,
interference. I was really disappointed in the pass rush because and we didn't even talk about this, but the Falcons O lines were a wash, man. The Falcons O line was just as injured as ours. They were out their center. They were out with
yeah.
another offensive lineman
Yeah.
as well.
I feel
Jake
like we
Towards the
Matthews
got
end
had
of
some
some
the game,
terrible
pressure on Kirk.
holds. Like,
I feel like we got some pressure on Kirk.
we
yeah, but
did.
not
They
not
they did
but
pretty good in their run game.
The reason
Like
Adebo got that pick was because we had somebody in Kirk's face.
yeah, and you got one sacked fumble from
Brissy.
what was this guy? No, we had a sack fumble from this guy that we always make fun of all the
Shepard.
time. No,
Wasn't
Peyton
it
Turner.
Shepard that? Oh yeah,
No, it was
Peyton
Peyton
Turner
Turner.
was, yeah, that's Peyton Turner.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Okay.
no,
Peyton
I was
Turner.
waiting for you guys to get there. I was waiting for
Shepard
you
was
guys
the
to
one
get
who
there.
fell on it, or was it Kalen Saunders who fell on it and fucking
Yeah.
didn't get it, dude?
And then yeah, but
Shit, we
they
need to
still got a
practice
field goal on
that.
that drive. Yeah. So defense played lights out, man. Except for
Yeah.
the end, which but still at the end of the day, man, in the NFL, I can't expect with a minute to go for you to hold the better offenses to not getting a field goal in certain spots. But you have to you've got to give credit to the Falcons receivers. I think the Falcons have some legit receivers. Drake London,
Mooney's nice,
Mooney
man.
is
He
good
made some
too.
good plays.
Yeah.
They're good receivers and
Mooney killed
everything.
us on some crucial
Yeah,
plays, man.
yeah.
Golly.
They use their receivers the way I wish we used our receivers early on, especially in that second and third quarter when we were just begging for to put some kind of points on the board.
Yeah. Well, they
Um,
had a few big plays called off, like that the Bijan touchdown. That was
Hmm.
a throw to him and he
hold,
cut back across the middle, yeah, with a
Yeah.
holding.
yeah,
So I mean,
Yeah.
there's things they could look at. They're a pretty good team. They don't look like a bad team. Like you said,
Yeah,
they
I don't
hung
think
with
they're
Kansas
terrible at
City.
all, man.
And then the first game of the year, kind of figuring it out against
They
Pittsburgh.
beat the Eagles. I mean, I'm
Uh,
obviously the Eagles are, we don't know what the Eagles are right now, but
yeah.
yeah.
they beat
So
the
you ready for
Eagles.
some
Sorry to interrupt
stats?
you, man.
You ready for some stats to piss you off and everything?
Sure.
I've seen all these probably.
Who scored the most points in the division?
What?
Wait, who
Who's
has?
overall over after 4 games? After 4 games, everybody's played 4 games. Who scored the most points in the division?
Probably
Probably us.
Tampa. Tampa.
Yeah, no,
Tampa.
we've scored the most points.
Oh, we have. Okay.
We scored
That's
127
a trick
points.
question.
We scored 127
Yeah, we
points.
had two
Tampa has
40
scored
burgers.
97 points. All right.
We had
Who's
two
given up
40
the least amount of
burgers.
points?
Probably us. Yeah, of
Yep.
course us, because we've only allowed 12 points
Yeah.
a game.
We've given up
Average.
70 points. Tampa's given up 78 points.
70?
Total. Total points in 4 games. We've given up 70 points
Oh,
Games.
in
Yeah.
four
not
games.
defense.
Four games.
We're not
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about the
yeah.
defense, special
No, no,
teams.
no.
Yeah. No, this is points against.
Fucking
This is everything. This is points against
right.
the number of
That's why
points
I
we've
was like,
surrendered as a team.
our defense is only allowed
Oh,
Yeah.
7 points or something like that.
yeah.
40-something.
So just to give you an idea of just how crazy this is with this record, man, and how
Right.
you can look and say, there's another, we're 3 or 4 plays away from being 4-0
Right.
and feeling a lot better about ourselves. But just like we said, the first 5 games are going to be so crucial. Uh, we're going to be 2-3 like I thought, and it's going to kind of piss me off
I
because I
don't
thought
I,
we
I don't
we
I don't
we
like you
pissed two
saying
games
that,
away,
man.
man.
I don't like you saying
I
we're
thought that we
gonna
were going
be
to be
two
two and
and
three.
three.
I
What
expected 2-3. Now, granted, I did not expect it in the fashion how it happened.
Yeah.
That I
You're
didn't see
calling that a
coming.
loss already, man.
Well, you
But
played bad. You've beaten yourself 2 games in a row, Mason.
We haven't even
do
Let
you,
played
let's
this
let's call it.
game yet, man, and you're calling it a
Yeah, but
loss.
but but I'm telling you, you've beaten yourself 2 games in a row. You're injured
I don't
right
no,
now.
if
care.
that
Your
were to
best
We
happen,
player has
yeah,
also
yeah.
busted
we
ribs.
also smoked 2 teams in a row. So which one are you
Yeah,
gonna talk about? Which one are you gonna hang your hat on? The most recent?
dude, dude.
It's
We
it
Come on,
beat
looks
the
man.
Panthers,
bad.
who are terrible. We beat the Bryce Young Panthers, who are
Nobody beat
absolutely
the
terrible.
Panthers like we did, brother.
Yeah, I know, but even still, because Bryce
People
Young
are
got
beating the
fucking benched
Panthers, but
after
they're
the
not
second
beating
game.
them. Wait, what?
Because
Because
Bryce
Bryce
Young got
Young?
benched.
Oh, so now
Yeah,
you're an Andy Dalton fan now?
dude, Red Rocket baby, he's killing it right now,
He
dude.
really is.
He's
I'm
killing
telling
it.
you, dude. I told you, believe my boy,
I'm worried
bro.
about playing them. I'm worried
That's my
about
dude.
playing
We
them
should have
now,
kept
dude.
him around. We should have kept him around. He'd be dotting
Okay,
up Shaheed and Clint's offense.
bro. It sucks, man. Look, but that's all I'm trying to say, man. I want to be optimistic here, and yeah, we could come out here and beat this Chiefs team, and I think it's really feasible. But with the way that we played these past 2 games, how we've beaten ourselves and how the play calling has looked, you're going to
Yes.
have to change something that we have not been able to change yet. And you haven't proven to me that you can change it yet,
Right.
you know?
If we
So
don't, we're
I
going to
can,
lose. That's for sure. If we do the same thing that we did the last 2 games, we're going to definitely lose. Yeah. But I'm saying let's not do that and let's win.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
If we
can't just
get,
say we're going to do it again. We got
yeah,
to be optimistic, brother. We're going to try to change that in practice. Let's
yeah,
do
do
it.
you,
you,
Let's change
we
it.
can,
well, it also has to well, it doesn't even have to be at practice. Dennis Allen, with these critical
Yeah. In
situations,
the
if he
game.
can
Yeah.
handle them a little better, different decision.
Yeah.
We could. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Just something as
I'm not
simple
even
as
blaming
that.
DA as much as you want to blame DA on this. I'm not even giving DA that much. Look,
But
you
just for
can,
that
That's
that that
that's the
call, those
easy out.
game time calls, those game
Yeah,
that,
time
like
calls.
it's
Yeah.
that,
it's critical situation
Yeah.
points where he just
yeah,
like fumbles the bag. He's just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what's the wrong thing
dude.
to do? Let me do that. I'm gonna
Yeah, but
go for it on 4th and 6 from the 6th.
Yeah.
No.
I wonder how much that who really makes those decisions though. You want to say it's Dennis Allen because he's the head coach, but is it Clint
Right.
Kubiak? He's running the drive the whole time. Is all of a sudden and
no,
at
it's
the
Derek.
very end, is it like, okay, now Dennis, you make the decision after I just did this whole drive. Like you make
No,
the
and
decision on
and
how
look,
this ends. I don't know if it always works like that.
it's
So it
look,
might have been a
hindsight's
Clint
twenty
thing.
twenty, man. Hindsight's 2020. If I'm telling you right now, if Sean Payton was there, he's kicking that field goal all day, and he's pissed off that he's got to kick that field goal. But he
Yeah.
hasn't proven to
Yeah.
himself that as a play caller, he's put himself in a position to be able to do that.
I say if it's fourth and goal on the one, go
Oh
for it
yeah,
all
we're
day,
going for it.
please.
Oh
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe even
Even
the
fourth and
two. I
two.
might even get tricky on the two. But like 3 and back, dude, that your odds go
Yeah,
way down, dude, on
yeah.
getting in there. They go way down. So you got to take the points. You got
And
to.
I'm trying to look and
Unless you got like
see.
2 minutes left in the game and you got no other choice. We have plenty of time, man. Plenty of
Yes.
time. And then our
Yeah.
defense goes and gets a 3 and out, just like we freaking always did and always do. We
Yeah.
get a
Well,
three and
again,
out.
they
We
they
get the
only
ball
gave
back with
up.
3 minutes.
Yeah, again, they only gave up 4 field goals as a defense.
Yeah,
Like
man. We're
seriously, and you
obviously going to
make the
get the ball
decision to
back.
not
Right.
take the points. I'm like, again, another game of
Yeah.
this. Just the
When you have a
coaching at
defensive
the time.
battle like that, points are so when you have your defense is playing lights out, man, those points, you take those points in a close game. I'm
Yeah, and
sorry.
Speaking
like
of
they
speaking of
Put
they
the
didn't
kicking,
even
game
score a
into your
touchdown.
defense's
They get
hands.
two crazy whack ass touchdowns. That's how they
Yes.
beat us.
Right. So like
punter's
it's just
nice.
it's almost a
Punter's nice
fluke.
for the
It's a
Saints.
fluky game in a way, man.
Yeah.
It's a fluky game in a way. To
Oh
me, it's a
man, is it
fluky
fluky,
game.
or are we just lacking in personnel and coaching?
I
Or
don't
is
think
it
so,
fluky, or
man.
are we just lacking in personnel and coaching? Because this is the same fucking coaches and the same players last year that fumble fucked a lot of shit around, dude. You got a different play caller in here that looks better than brain dead because Pete Carmichael is absolute dog shit. Clint
Mhm.
Kubiak looks much, much better. This guy has set records with us. We've done great so far, but he has not proven that he can adapt to the personnel on the field when things aren't on time.
Yeah.
And
In two
Derek Carr's a
games,
good
he's
quarterback.
proven
He's
that.
not,
Yeah.
yeah, and Derek Carr's not good. Derek Carr's not a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. So you're limited there in certain spots too. He
I
had a
agree.
really bad throw. Forget the pick. There's this throw to Shaheed that even with a little bit of pressure in his face, I'm like, I need you to fucking man up and step into these throws a little bit more, dude. Like, I
It's
need you to
because
get
you
something on
gotta
these throws a
you're
little bit.
doing this to Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I can't criticize Derek. Okay, so that's fine. It was a bad
Where'd I
throw.
go?
It was a bad throw that he missed to Shahid. Okay, but it's
You
just
can
an example
criticize
I'm
my
trying to
boy,
give.
but
All right.
It's
I
just
don't
an
feel
example
that
I'm
bad
trying to
about the
give.
loss. That's just me. I don't feel that terrible about the loss. Mason, do you feel that terrible about the loss? I don't
it
feel good about it.
sucks,
Don't get me
dude. Like
wrong.
it sucks. And I was
Yes.
like sick, and I was like, that sucks, obviously.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like, man, it's a long season,
Right. It's 2-2.
really long season, and this is such a blip of what is to come and the overall story of the season. So like, you cannot just start. You got to take these emotions and just kind of level them down a little bit
Yeah.
and just stick to your guns, play more precise, cut out the mental errors, and you win that ball game, bro. And you're gonna win
Oh yeah.
plenty more the way you played
Mhm.
if you just cut out those mistakes and those little stupid little errors.
Well, at
And
least
that
through four.
happens
Matt,
with reps.
Yeah.
That
Matt,
happens with
Matt,
reps.
At least through
are the
four
Falcons?
games, we haven't been like ever out of a game. Like we've been in
Let me ask.
contention every game. But
Right.
well,
Let me.
other teams haven't. But yeah, go ahead.
I just
I'm
want
sorry if I
simple yes
sound
or no.
stupid optimistic. I know I sound
Let
like
me
really overly optimistic, but I just have a
a
good
No,
feeling.
I
simple.
am. I feel
I
good
just
about
have
the
a
team.
simple yes or no question. I just have a simple yes or no question. Matt, are the Falcons a good team? Yes
They're
or
a
no?
pretty good team. And when I say by pretty good team, they're probably at the end of the season a 9 to 10 win team. I don't think they're going to be a bad team.
Okay, Mason, do you think the Falcons are a good team?
I think they're 500, a little above 500 team. As of what I see
Were
right
we a
now.
good
I mean,
team? Were
with
we?
potential to be higher, I think. I think if Kirk Cousins really starts finding a groove with these receivers and their defense plays and gets pressure on people like they have, and Bijan Robinson starts to get his legs under him and he starts becoming a player, I think they could be a lot better than over
Where did
500
he
for
go
sure.
at the end of the game? Like
They
they
started
went
giving the ball to
completely to
Algier a lot.
Algier the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they went to Algier a lot as if I don't know, they were riding the hot hand because he was running the ball nice, Algier. They were giving
Well,
him some
their
good
O
pulls.
line was. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
was about to say they were run blocking wise.
Yeah, they
They
were.
were doing well.
We looked kind of gas at the end there. It was I think that's one of the reasons Adebo got beat too, because he straight up got beat, and that's why they called the PI. Because the
Yeah.
refs look for that. They look to see if the guy got beat and he's in a compromised position.
Yeah.
And then how do you react to that? If you're grabbing and you're doing all this stuff and you look like you were lost and you don't know where the ball's at, that's what the refs are looking for. And if you have any kind of little contact, they're going to call PI. But if you're
Yeah.
aware of
All
where
right.
the ball's at and they see you hawking the ball and you have a little contact, but you're still playing the ball, then that's not PI. And he was just
Yeah.
totally
No.
lost. And that's why
Yeah. He was out of
he
position.
got beat.
Yeah.
He got beat.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
So
and he playing right there.
here's why I'm not with you guys on this blip. This could be, you guys, want to stay optimistic, and that's totally cool. And again, like I said, I don't think there's any wrong way that you can really look at this. I really don't. I just where my head's at right now, and timer's perspective, because the group chat during the game got salty AF. Um,
Had to check you a little bit,
this
dude. That's all.
the
It's
Saints are
because
at the
Trey's all on one
Chiefs.
hate.
It's for your own good.
The Saints
Trey's
are
just
at the
hating on
Chiefs.
one person.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go.
Let him
The
finish. Let him
Saints are.
finish.
I've not hated on just one person.
Go.
Absolutely not hated on just
Go
one
Okay,
ahead.
person.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The
go,
Saints
go.
are the Saints are at the Chiefs, Tampa at home, Denver at home over the next three. That's why this was such a big deal. Denver's starting to figure out a couple of things. They have a
They
pretty
look
decent
good. They look
defense.
decent.
That
Yeah.
could be a toss-up game at best right now, which I still like us in that game against Denver, okay? But at Kansas City
Sean
and
P,
Tampa
baby.
Bay at
He's good.
home,
Sean
those are
Payton's
going to
got
be
a whole separate playbook set aside for us
oh
right
yeah.
now.
Bo Nix is throwing for 550 and 12
Yeah,
touchdowns this
for sure.
game, and we're not even going to be fucking
He's
ready,
bringing
dude.
out all the trick
Um,
plays and everything. He's got
But
it
you
all
have a
good.
very good chance with at Kansas and Tampa at home. You have a really good chance at being 2-4 or 3-3 at best with a tilt against Denver. That's why I'm really pissed off that we couldn't win this game. This defense
What
is
other
elite.
chance
Three,
do you
three and
have?
three
Um,
is not
What
best.
other chance do you have, though?
Yeah, I was about to say there's a
yeah,
four
you
There's
can
another
win in every
chance.
scenario
game.
that
There's
can
another
happen.
scenario. Yeah.
Yeah, pump the
What's the other one?
sunshine. Pump the sunshine. I will be the dark corner of
You
hatred
can,
and
dude.
When
this.
haven't
You
you seen
It's
us
can.
totally
out of a
fine.
game this season?
Huh?
We
That's just
played
a
four games,
broad. You
almost a
act like we're
quarter of the
melting,
season.
bro.
That's
When
not
have we been
that's not the
out of the
questions
game?
that is not the questions I'm asking. I'm asking myself, how many times have I seen us piss away games this year so far?
Two
50%
times.
of them.
Yeah.
50% of the
For
P
games
sure.
we've
pissed
pissed
away.
away so far.
Yeah.
Right.
Small
Pissed
volume.
away,
Small
won the
volume
So
game.
numbers.
so you would say
Small
they could
volume
easily
numbers.
change. If they were pissed away,
You
they could
it,
easily
it
change.
absolutely can easily change, but until then, you can't tell me that. Oh well, this dog's bitten me twice, but this third time, now we'll be good this time. Okay, 50% of the time, I've only been bitten by the dog, so this fucking sixth time
You
is not going to be that big of a deal. You know
Trey
what I mean? Like
Trey
you've
expected
got
to go
you're
undefeated.
no, I didn't expect us to go
It's two
undefeated, but
losses.
I expect us to win games where our defense doesn't give up a touchdown. Call me crazy.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
right. But I expect
I
us to
expect
lose
Dennis
games
Allen to
when we
kick a
have.
field goal and make sure that we win that game. You're right. I
And
expect that.
I was right
I
about
expect
this
us to
game too. I told
lose.
you guys in the middle of this game, I said, this is why you lose games. I said, I don't see us winning this game. And I
Oh
said that
yeah.
in the middle of the third fucking quarter.
Go look
Unfortunately, I
at
was
the
fucking
stat
right.
on. Go find me the
Sucks, man.
stat on. Go find me the stat on if who wins if you have two non-offensive touchdowns against you, two defensive or
Oh,
special
sure.
teams touchdowns
Oh,
against you.
and
The
I can't
odds have
verify
to
this.
be completely like ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Oh, I
pretty
got another
bad.
90,
stat. I don't know.
high
I got another stat.
90s.
I got another stat for you. It's going to really piss you off. The last time that a team scored 24 points or more and did not give up a touchdown
Mm,
and still lost, the last team to do it were the
Us.
1983 Saints.
it's funny.
What? It's like
It's funny, dude.
it's just snake bit. It's snake bitten
Yeah,
bullshit,
you're
man. Snake
right,
bitten
man.
bullshit. I'm
Dude,
bummed
and
out that
like
Taysom went out, man. I'm bummed out that Taysom went out because you walked the ball down the field 2 drives in a row to start the game. I thought
yeah,
we were on our way to
it was looking
burgers
like the first
all
two
day.
games. It was looking like the
And the
first two games
Falcons,
on offense.
Bruh.
Falcons have a sneaky decent defense, man. They have a
I'm
decent
telling you.
defense, and we just were walking this ball down the field. Things were looking good. You were hitting passes. You ran this single wing 4th and 1 with Taysom, bro. That got me so
Oh,
hyped,
that was
man.
awesome,
Where he
bro.
lines up
That
at
was awesome.
offset
Yeah, and they
fullback.
yeah.
Saints run a single
Kamara
wing,
goes
hand it off to
out wide.
Taysom. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That
then
was
Taysom
awesome.
just tears it up. Oh man, just keep that one tucked in your playbook for
Yeah,
future
that was
memories,
awesome.
please. That was great.
Great play.
It just you
I
just
mean,
not
Kubiak's got Taysom rolled down, dude. He's got the Taysom roll. He came in here and
We needed a
he
backup
got the
Taysom.
Taysom roll.
Jesus, where do we get a
And
backup Taysom?
let's clone. We need a clone.
We
but
have to find someone somewhere that has a
that's
similar
the
skill set, right? Maybe. Does he exist?
Tim
Is there
Tebow.
another Taysom?
an offense you cannot build on a 34-year-old halfback
Jalen
that has
Milrow.
already been beaten to shitting
No,
back.
yeah, not on him. Just
Let's get
his skill
Milrow in the
set.
building.
Let's get someone like that
It
again.
sucks, man. You can draft Jalen. So Mason wants to draft Jalen Milrow to play halfback for the Saints. I'm down. I'm kind of down,
No,
actually.
like he's like the Taysom
He's similar
replacement, man.
size.
He's gonna be the
He is.
Taysom replacement.
He is. He is. He is. He is. Man, he is.
That'd be awesome.
Man,
And
it's a frustrating
Taysom's
loss, y'all.
yeah.
It's such a
Yeah, it
frustrating
is. I agree
loss.
with that for sure.
It's so frustrating. It's one of those things where because of what we've seen with the Saints over the past 2 years with this coaching staff, even though you have some fresher blood in there with Kubiak and everything, uh, it, it it's got me in this place where I'm trying to find some light, and I'm thinking that, and like I said, man, I do not expect us. I'm gonna say I'll say it when we do the preview too. I do not expect us to beat Kansas City. I don't. I they're a better coach team. That's for starters. They are a
Yeah, I would
better
say
coach
so
team,
there for sure.
Well,
and it's on the
especially
road,
proven in critical moments.
Yeah, for
and it's
sure.
on the road. So you're have a really
I don't know how
strong
much
chance of
that
being two
affects
and three,
us
man.
though, man. I feel like it doesn't even matter if we're on the road or home anymore. I
No,
Yeah,
it
feel
it's
like
really
it
true.
doesn't
doesn't.
That's
matter.
true. Yeah, and look, the defense is going to travel, bro, and it's going to be. And look, we're gonna. I hope we beat the hell out of Pat Mahomes, and that dude turns
Oh
the
yeah,
ball over
for sure.
too. So there's
For
no,
sure.
a
We just
couple
got to make sure
just like
Worthy
how we
doesn't
had a
take the top off
couple
the
of.
defense,
Yep,
and
and
that's
that's
it,
the
man.
only and Kelsey. Those are like their only two guys
Yeah,
left. Rasheed
yeah, because
Rice
we
busted his
don't
ACL.
we don't like to guard tight ends for some reason.
Yeah, for real.
We don't have to worry
I
about it in
got
practice like the fucking
nightmares of
bums we trot out.
Waller having a career game against us.
Oh yeah, a
What
few
was that
years
a couple
back.
years ago to
Yeah,
Raiders? Oh my God.
for real.
It was like I think they were like, hey, we're gonna throw to Waller. Just
Yeah,
let y'all
pretty.
know.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
do
I
you
don't know
have?
what
Like teens
Kubiak's.
catches that game? He
Yeah,
had like
something crazy.
I
15-ish
Yeah,
I
something
somewhere.
crazy.
don't know what Kubiak's really idea was in the red zone. If you've got guys like Juwan Johnson and Foster that have already proven that they can be good red zone weapons, that you would not go to them in that red
Yeah.
zone possession. But you've got to do something to get these tight ends involved. They are better than what has been shown so far. I
Yeah.
say they're bums right now, but that's just because you haven't given them any reason to prove me otherwise outside of a couple of plays they made in the first few games. Foster Moreau, man, he's not a scrub. That
No,
guy's been in the
he looked
NFL for
good,
a
man.
while.
And he's got a good connection with Derek Carr too.
Yeah.
They
Well,
seem
there was a
to
big
that
gain by Juwan Johnson wiped off by a holding. That was actually a good play by Derek
yep,
Carr rolling out and throwing on at an angle, hit him, and then nope, call that one back. That was another
yeah.
big play that got called back. There were so many
that
times.
play that
There's a
that
lot of
hold's going to
stuff that
happen a
you can
lot more in
nitpick.
the NFL than what you think, though, Matt. Just the play contain breaks down the way that offensive linemen are taught to engage and everything. Every offensive lineman holds
Oh,
on
you
every
hold him
play.
as shoulder pads right
You
here
hold
on
them,
the
and then
inside.
I didn't
Yeah.
know my quarterback was going and breaking out because the play broke down. I didn't know that was going to happen. So, oops, hold.
There's a lot of
I
holds
can
when
forgive that hold.
when they roll out. Yeah,
Oh
you're
yeah.
right.
I can forgive that hold a lot more than other holds. A lot more than other holds that happen and everything.
Oh yeah. In the grand scheme,
You're
there's a lot of things to point at. That's just one of many.
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
man. Yeah. So this sucked. It was
Yeah.
not fun. I'm frustrated. I understand though and respect where Matt and Mason are coming from. But when we do a season recap of the Saints don't make the playoffs, I'm going to say I was right. I was right about this
All
shit, man.
right. For sure.
Truly hope I'm wrong. Truly hope I'm wrong, man. The
Hey
Saints.
man,
So the Saints through 4 games have shown to Matt and Mason that they could be 10-7 or better, and have shown to me that we can be 7-10 or all the same. It's still right down the fucking middle. We really still don't know
I
exactly
don't
what's
know
going to happen
shit.
yet.
I don't know anything right now with the
I
whole
just
NFL.
know
The NFL is
uh
so weird right
Yeah.
now. Tell me,
if
Yep.
let me ask you a question, Trey. Are the Chargers
Go ahead,
good?
man.
You think the Chargers are good?
I think they're okay. I think Justin Aber is overrated. I think
He's
that
playing like trash this year and last
yeah,
year.
and I don't think Harbaugh's an NFL coach anymore.
They hung with Kansas
I think
City today, dude.
was it 17-10 though?
17-10.
Kansas
So
City is getting by on
on defense.
a they're a paper tiger right
Like you
now,
said,
dude.
like a couple Mahomes magic plays, man. That's what's
Yeah,
happening.
like
They had
they're
a long touchdown to Xavier Worthy, and that was
If
7 of their 17 points.
if we didn't give up
yeah,
a pick six in that special teams touchdown, we would have given up less points.
Right. So I'm
yeah,
just saying
man.
the
I mean,
NFL is
but
really weird right now, man. And going in to play Kansas City, it's like, oh shit, it's Kansas City. But
We could give
like
them their first
it's
loss.
Kansas City, man. The
Yeah.
that's what
Chargers
this is what
hung with them. They almost lost another game before, didn't they? Didn't
They
Atlanta
all
almost beat them.
yeah,
And
and
St. Louis lost
Cincinnati
to
really could have
them.
beat them every
Yeah,
game.
man. So this NFL is
it's
weird right now, man. I'm telling you,
it's definitely tough, man. It's
it's
definitely a
weird.
tough league.
It's
We
hard
Washington
just
is
as
3 and
it's
easily
hard to predict
could be in
right
the
now.
same that, yeah. We could give them their first loss. That could happen.
Denver just
Now
beat the Jets.
I'm not
oh,
excited about playing
that was an
Washington in
ugly game.
December.
Washington?
I'm not excited about playing Washington in December.
We play Washington.
Not,
Oh, shoot, that's your boy.
yeah,
He's
no,
kind of
Jaden's
cooking.
coming down here. Oh, jeez.
They put up what, 30-something points today?
Yeah, look, man, and Sam Darnold's leading the Minnesota Vikings to a 4-0 record already. You know what I mean? This is very
Yeah, that's
wonky
what I'm saying.
season.
It's so weird, dude. That's
It's very early, but
it's
this
what
is
it's
the thing
taught
where I
me
tell you,
is
like,
that what it's taught me is that systems and coaching and game planning and play calling is such a big deal, man.
so
You can get average NFL players out there
yeah,
and make them look really good. You got Brock
and there's
Purdy. You transfer him anywhere else, man, he's not gonna be the same Brock Purdy. Sam Darnold has been proven to be garbage his whole career, man. He was laughed
yeah.
at until he gets to Minnesota. He's looking like the best quarterback in the league.
Well, let's go by tiers, man.
Systems
Like
and
the
play
the
calling is
loss,
so important, dude.
the loss is it's going to have different. It's going to have a different tiered effect by the end of the season. This is either going to be one of these losses, these past two games. You could say these past two games are going to lead to one of two things. It's going to be why we don't have the number one seed in the NFC. It's going to be why we didn't win the division, get a home game, or it's going to be the reason why we didn't make the playoffs. But it's going to be one of those three things.
Man,
It absolutely is going
we
to be one
might
of those
just
three things.
freaking catch fire and just really figure it out and
Yeah,
just go on a tangent, bro, and just mop through
yeah, that's not
people
happening.
and lose like 2, 3, 4 more games. That's it.
That's not happening. I don't
I
see
don't
this
know.
team going on a run, man.
That this
I
team
think you're
has the
just really
potential for
deficient.
that.
I think they
Your
have the
personnel is
potential,
just
Matt.
so
Just like you
deficient.
Yeah,
said,
I
yeah.
man.
don't.
This
I
team,
think they
I
oh
do.
yeah.
don't.
The
I think
With
this
that
defense,
offensive
defense,
you
with
don't
that
line.
think the
defense, man,
defense
golly,
could put
dude.
us in position to do that. So you must think these flukes are going to just keep reoccurring.
Yeah, it
That's what
can't
you
just
think.
I
happen
think you're
like
going to
this
play
all the
better
time.
teams than the Falcons and the Eagles in the next few weeks.
Yeah, yeah,
Unless you
yeah.
guys think the Falcons and the Eagles are
Who?
the creme
The
de la creme.
Chiefs? The
Yeah, yeah. I
Chiefs
will
and
agree. I will agree.
Tampa. Tampa's
But
better
the
than both those
flukes
teams.
again,
Tampa
we
looks
gave
different right now, and I'm trying to figure out why, but because they got Baker Mayfield looking like a beast. What's going on there, dude?
They just blasted the same team that you lost to last week. They just blasted them. All
Yeah,
right.
for sure. It's a weird
we should
NFL,
have
dude.
blasted them.
Weird
Jesus.
NFL, man.
But so I'm saying I don't think that your personnel, and just like what you guys said, I don't think personnel and coaching wise that we have the talent to go on any type of a run. It's
We have
going to
the
take some
talent.
people playing over their heads. We absolutely do not have the talent on the offensive line. We are signing dudes off the
Offensive
street to
line.
play O line right now.
Oh
Absolutely
yeah,
do
no,
not.
O-line is looking,
Yeah, it's rough, and that's
yes.
really important too. That's the shitty part.
And just like how you said, Matt, like Dennis
I think
Allen
we kind of
seems to
studied the
choose to
ship
push
though a
the
little bit.
he's pushing the wrong
Yeah, we got
buttons
better.
at the worst times, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's
Yeah, no,
he's
the
pushing the
his
wrong buttons at the worst
situational
times.
coaching at these critical moments, he
Yeah.
has been straight ass. Like it has been terrible. Outside of when he hasn't had 2 weeks, 1 and 2, and we're absolutely destroying Dallas
All
and
right.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Like we've been in 2 games where you have to have the situational awareness to take advantage of what's been giving to you. Like take the points. Both of these games, I said it last week, this week, it could have changed the outcome. We could have won the Eagles game when we kind of didn't have any right to win it based on good situational coaching, and we should have won this game, but we didn't based on poor situational coaching and decision making. Just go out there, take the points. Bad. It's terrible. Those decisions have to be different going forward. Like they have
Yeah,
to learn from these mistakes.
yeah.
There's no way they
I
can
feel a lot
continue to
better.
make them.
I feel a lot
Yeah.
better if you had a better quarterback than Derek Carr behind here to step to mask some of
We
these
know you. We
deficiencies.
know
Okay.
you would. We
Oh,
know
oh
you
my
would.
God. Again with this. Jesus.
We know you would.
We're 2 field goals away from fucking 4-0.
We
Jesus.
can't go 2 minutes without saying that man's name.
And it's Derek Carr.
I'm being blunt, man. He's like I say, he's a good, not great quarterback. He had an awful interception at the end of the Eagles game and lost the game there for you.
You can't
He
say like one play lost you the game, though, bro.
but okay, well,
Yeah, for real.
Kirk
You can't
Cousins had a
say
minute
that,
left to
man.
go get a
Any
field goal to
Derek,
win the game,
any
and he
Derek
made it
Carr negative
happen.
play
Stop,
lost the game.
stop. No, stop right here. Stop right
It
here, man.
ended the game. It may have
We
ended the
had
game.
it into the game. Yeah, okay.
You didn't lose the
Kirk
game because
Cousins,
of that.
Kirk mid-ass Cousins, all right, had a minute to go down the field to kick a field goal to win the game, and he did it. We had
He
more
threw
than a
one
minute.
play and got a pass interference.
Okay, but he still made the right throw. He still made the right read. Derek
He
Carr
got
back
cooked that
foot,
whole
hip
drive by our
recovery.
I
defense.
wouldn't say
Our defense
he did it.
Our
I would
defense was
say
in his ass that
they
whole
got it.
drive.
all I'm trying to say is that Derek is not a bad quarterback. I keep telling you guys this. All I am telling you is that he would be, if we had a guy back there that was a top tier quarterback, I can excuse the O line not being the best. I can excuse some of the coaching issues with the play calling because my heady quarterback is going to check me into something a little bit better. Derek, and again, I don't know what their checks are. I don't know when they go to checks and everything, but you cannot tell me lining up at quarterback on 3rd and 5 at the red zone at the goal line that that your quarterback can't check into something better. Like,
Then the
give me a
run
break,
play.
man.
Then the run
Yeah,
play.
that run play that got blown the fuck up. That was a
Yeah.
terrible decision. Derek should have known it walking up into the fucking huddle. But what does he do? Hike, snap, handoff. I'm telling you, he's a good quarterback. He made great
Yeah,
throws. This
man.
guy got us the lead late. He got us the lead
So
late.
you wanted
He
him to
got us the
change
lead late.
Clint's? You wanted him to change
Our
Clint's play
offense
call?
is our
No,
offense is
man.
just fine,
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, how many
and
times did we
he's
see it? We
doing
saw it
just
for
fine.
15 years.
Don't say
We saw,
Drew
we saw,
Brees. How many times you saw Drew Brees change play calls? Because Drew Brees had the right to change play calls. Derek Carr doesn't have the right to do that yet,
because
and
he's
it's
not a
because
great
he's not
quarterback.
Drew Brees.
Yeah, he's
And
not a great
because
quarterback. Yeah.
It's because he's
how
not Drew
long
Brees. A
and
lot of
how
people don't have
long?
that right to do that.
No. How long were Drew Brees and Sean Payton together as play callers and to establish their scheme and their
Right.
playbook?
And that
Yeah.
relationship, and
This is
Yeah.
the
that's
beginning
different,
parts
bro.
of season one. So
Yeah.
So
And
let's
that's
different.
what I'm telling
back
you,
off
man.
the
Like,
hey, geez.
they've had interviews where Derek has said they've taken things off of his plate. Have you guys seen those interviews yet? This was after
Yeah.
the
He's
Cowboys
playing.
game.
He's
They've
playing
taken
well
things
though.
off of Derek's plate, and Derek kind of bit his tongue a little bit and said, I'm not necessarily happy with it, but they have. Okay.
He said that.
So, yes, absolutely. He said they're taking some stuff off my
He said, I'm
plate,
not happy
and I'm
with
not
it.
going to say what. He said, I'm not going to say what, but they have taken some things off my plate that I wasn't necessarily too happy about or okay with or whatever you want to call it. However he said it,
I
the
need to
way that
see
he
it because you like to
verbalized it.
fabricate.
Oh, I like
I
to
know you too
fabricate.
well.
Yeah.
I know you too well.
Yeah, I
Your
like to
fake
fabricate
news.
picks into triple coverage at the end of the game to lose games. Yeah, I like to fabricate some shit that I just see with my eyes, apparently. You know.
I'm saying
Um
the quote you're saying
So
he said. You like to
to
fabricate
keep talking,
quotes.
Matt. Now I want to look this
to
up too. Are you looking this up,
if
Mason?
we
Are you
have
fact
these
checking me right now? Are you
if
Snopesing
these
me, bro?
if we have
That's gonna
these
be
two
too hard to
plays
look
that
up.
don't happen
I
though,
don't have time.
like the outside of all that stuff, how many points different do you think we have if we don't have the special teams touchdown that we give up with Rashid Shaheed and then the
Oh
pick
yeah.
six
Oh
and
yeah. No,
also
look,
not going for
player.
the field goal?
Right.
Like our offense, we have the offense to do it. Like we should have really with one field goal put up 27. Then you take those plays that ended up being 14 points for the Falcons, and we probably get some form of point, even if we only get another 3 points out of
Right.
those plays not existing and our offense getting a chance to put a drive together. Um, like we score 3 points, we score another field goal, we put up 30 points all, and that's not such a bad outing.
No.
Like it's so bad sometimes to watch like these situational things. It's like I said, like a bazooka instead of shooting yourself in the foot with like a BB
Well,
gun or something. You have a rocket launcher and you
we're
shoot yourself
definitely
in the foot.
we're definitely hurting ourselves, bro.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, man. It's
You found it yet, Trey? I see you over
the
there.
penalties.
I found everything that Derek said. You guys keep talking for a second. I have the transcript. I'm skimming through it right now
Dude,
for
Mason,
it's not
Derek
hey
that
Carr.
Mason,
serious. It's not as
no, Mason, what you
Oh, it's very
thinking?
serious because you
As
just called me
far
the fuck
as
out. Yeah, it's a little serious now, bro.
okay, go for it.
I'm sure Trey did embellish a little bit.
Go for it.
That's
I bet he
not
I'm
did.
sure.
outside of
I'm
Look,
sure.
if
the
he
realm of
says I
possibility.
will stand corrected if the dude says there was some what did you say? So I'm not wrong?
That I'm not happy about it or that I
I'm
didn't
not
like it.
happy
It's
about the
something
play
like that
calling
is
or
the
something like
verbiage
that.
that Trey
Yeah.
used. But
All right.
Yeah,
Mason, what do
yeah.
you think
All right. So this is
the
Derek Carr. This is Derek Carr. I'm right. So fuck you guys. All right. On if he has accepted the fact that Derek has needed to take some things off his plate or if he's been forced to. This is quote unquote. Definitely. I've had to bite my tongue a lot because I'm so used to playing a certain way, but change isn't always a bad thing. There are things that Clint lets me communicate with him. There's some say so. It's not like I'm just standing there with my hands behind my back,
Wait,
but it is a lot different than what I'm used to. But I'm thankful for it because it's happy view of doing things we're doing and doing things the way I want to do and the way my mind works. But also me taking a step back and saying, okay, what's the best for our team and what's best for around me? What's best for everybody? Yeah, maybe Derek can do that, but can the other 10 handle that, and that? That is literally him speaking to checks and how he is
I
not
still
doing
haven't
all the
heard
checks.
that part
I didn't
yet.
hear anything at
I
all
didn't
what
hear
you
that
just
part
said.
yet. I didn't hear that part yet.
I'm waiting for it. I'm like, where's
I've
that?
had to bite my tongue a lot. I've had to
Yeah.
bite my tongue a lot. Doesn't resonate with you guys at all in any way, shape, or form.
No, it
I've had to
doesn't.
bite my tongue a
That
lot.
does not
When it
That
comes to
create
taking things off of
what
his
you
plate,
said.
I've had to
No.
bite my tongue a lot. Okay. All right. Well, we
that
agree to
Yeah.
sounds
disagree
like
then.
he's learning something completely new
Yeah.
in that he's got some frustration boiling over. Like, hey, I'm not happy about this stuff, but it's stuff that we have to do to learn this
It
to learn
sounds
this
like
offense.
You can laugh all you
he's
want. They're
used.
taking stuff off of his plate, and he said, "I had to bite my tongue about it." That's literally what he said. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
you
yeah.
can you can paint that any way in your rose
That's
colored
not how he
glasses
said
that you
it.
want to
They
right now.
took something off his plate and put something else back on. And that's
He said he's had to bite
Yeah,
his
they didn't.
tongue sometimes, as far as like probably trying to be more assertive and try to put his way into doing things. Sometimes he's had to take a step back, bite his tongue sometimes to let Clint kind of do his thing. You can't look at it like that. You can't just
it could mean
create
a
the
lot of things
story
though.
out of it. It can mean a lot
I'm
of
not
things,
creating any
dude. And
story, man. If you read the whole
but
transcript, he
you
says at
said the
the end
man
that he's
said
not making all
the
the
play
checks.
calls,
He's
and
not making all the
I don't
checks
like,
anymore, man. He's not making
dude.
all the checks anymore, man. They said he's taking stuff off his plate, man. They've taken stuff off of Derek's plate. He's had to
Yeah,
bite his tongue.
he didn't say he
He
didn't
didn't
like it.
check out.
All right,
All
that's
right,
wonderful.
all I'm trying to allude to is that Matt is wrong. And once
Uh,
again, acting like he's right, sticking his head in the sand. We're gonna win out.
What am
We'll
I
go
wrong about?
fucking 15-2.
Oh,
So what are you not wrong about, Matt? What are you not wrong
fifteen
I
about?
and
said 10
two.
and 7. I said, didn't I say 10 and 7?
15.
We're going 15-2, baby. We're going 15-2 according to
Hey,
Matt and Mason.
I said 10 and 7. I said actually 2 and 3 to start through
no, we're
the
not going
five
15
wouldn't make
and
me feel too crazy. That's kind of what my expectation was, but
I
I
think we're
think
gonna
I
get
will
it together, man.
recite.
I
I
do
think we're
I
think
gonna
will.
so
get it
too.
together.
We're this close to getting it
Right.
together. Like
We're
kick a
like,
field goal. We're this
oh
close.
man, yeah.
Like bruh, like that.
Hmm.
Just the
We can be
decision
this
of
close.
hey, kick a field goal.
Yeah.
We could
That's
be
how
this
close we
close,
are.
man.
I
I'm
just feel like
telling you,
we're like a bomb just ready to freaking blow, man, you know?
Like we
Pause.
could so easily be 4-0. So easily be 4-0.
great teams handle adversity well in the NFL,
But we're
and we
not.
have not
Yeah,
yet.
we're not
Who
going
are
to be
great teams
undefeated.
to you, Trey? Who are great teams to you in the
Your
NFL
teams that
right
get to
now?
the
Who's
Super
a
Bowl
great
and
team
Super
in the
Bowl,
NFL?
man.
Who's a great team in the NFL right now?
No, I'm talking about teams in the past. I'm not talking about the season because we all
Okay.
said this is too early in the season. This is all we
Right.
100% agree. If anybody thinks the Vikings are making the Super Bowl right now, I want some of what you're
Right.
smoking, dude. Don't
Thank
get
you
me
for
wrong, all
saying
right?
that. Thank
They're
you for
4 and
saying
0,
that.
okay? But all I'm saying and what I've seen in the years and years and years that I've seen in the NFL is that great teams handle adversity well. We've had a lot of adversity. We've not handled it well. We played two pretty decent teams in the Falcons and the Eagles where through our own actions have lost this game. We lost both of those games,
But why do you
be it
think
poor
that's going to carry
coaching, poor
over?
decision making.
Why are you so
Um,
certain that that's going to carry over to these other games? Who are
I
you?
don't think
Who's you? I think is it the lack in faith in Derek in the leading quarterback?
Oh, I swear to God, if I have to more of this
Because
shit.
it's everything.
where else
It's
is
not
like
just
the
Derek.
doubt? Where's the doubt come
It's
from?
not just Derek.
Okay, well, where's
It's
the doubt
Derek,
come from?
it's Dennis, Clint, and Derek.
So Clint, you have you looked at Clint's past before? Or are you just looking at Clint's 2 games, 4 games with us, or just 2 games? Because the other 2 games you'd be looking at him like he was King Tut. So
Yeah.
what games are you looking at, and how are you judging Clint saying that this and putting doubt in your mind
Yeah.
for these next games coming up? What is making you feel like that? Just these 2 little rough games we had with some bad things happening to us, some weird off the wall weird shit happened to us.
What's the
Some
biggest
Saints
difference
things
between
happening to
games
us. It's
three
Yeah.
and
not weird
four?
for it to
What
happen to
is
the
the
Saints.
biggest difference? What is the biggest difference between games 3 and 4 versus games 1 and 2? Games three
Mistakes.
and four, in games three and
Uh,
four, you had 2 weeks worth of tape for teams to study. In games 1 and 2,
yeah, that's true.
you didn't. The Eagles adjusted. The
But
Eagles
we
played
played
five
better in the,
down.
but we played
The
better
Eagles played,
in Atlanta than we did the Eagles. So it's not like
yeah.
we went backwards. We went forwards from the Eagles game on
Oh,
offensively.
I disagree. I think you did a
Offensively,
horrible job of yeah, I think you did a horrible job of
the
getting
Eagles
Derek in
stuffed
rhythm.
us.
You did a horrible job of getting Derek in rhythm in this Atlanta game. It was too little, too late. He showed you what he could do towards the end. Why did we walk this ball down the field at the end of the game like it was nothing? It wasn't because the Atlanta just forgot how to play defense all of a sudden. Clint just got his head out of his own ass and just called a better game. You know, we talk about this all the time, man, but like I've got run pass still in my notes.
Mhm.
Way too many drives here, man. Way too many drives was Derek getting on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6 behind schedule. It was bad. It was really bad. And I need to see Clint just become a better play caller now that teams are adjusting to him. The NFL is a series of adjustments. They've adjusted to Clint, and it shows. I think you've gotten better in the Atlanta game, but I also think that at the end of the day, you how do I put this the correct way? You you score in your first two drives. You throw a pick, that pick six happens, and then the very next drive, I think we went 3 and out with Derek not throwing the ball one time. You know, where's the faith? Where's the no? Where he's going to correct this? Derek, you're going to get your ass back out there, and you're going to do this. I'm going to pull his play-by-play up really quick just to make sure. But those are the
The
things that I'm
offense
talking about.
definitely, offense ain't the problem. 25
Offense is
first
absolutely a
downs,
problem.
7 of 13 on first down, greater than 50%, 366 total yards, 5.2 yards per play. Offense
Yep.
is not the problem.
These are some weird.
Yep, I
These
was
are
absolutely right.
This is a really weird game,
It's not
bro.
it's
Really weird game.
situational. It's situational game flow. You can say we put up 346 yards. This looked good. That looked good, and everything. But after
And
the pick six,
366,
we
but
went
yeah.
we went run punt. After that pick six, man, you
Yeah, I
didn't let
remember that.
Derek
I
try to get
remember
back in
that
Hmm.
there.
drive.
That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. And then you
Yeah.
went punt again, and then you went punt again, and then you got a field goal, and then you crashed out in the red zone with bad play calling. You know, we and on that drive that we got into the red zone and everything, we did that by throwing the ball into those softer zones. So that's why I want to see Clint adjust to. It's not necessarily, I don't want him to abandon the run. I want him to get a little bit better, do a little bit better job of getting Derek into those
Run to the
early
left.
passing downs. Just get him into those earlier passing downs. Give him
You
some
don't think
early
he
passing
will?
downs. Let him get a rhythm. I think he will at the end of the day, but he hasn't done it yet, which is concerning. It's very
But it's
concerning
so early. How can you like get so concerned at so early?
because
Like
I
like
don't
like it's gonna
see.
be a trend. Like it's gonna be a thing that happens all the time. Like I think you're
Okay.
hurt. I think the Saints have hurt you. You're just glass half empty because the Saints have hurt
Okay.
you so bad. And I know what you mean. I feel your
What I've
pain, man.
seen, what the my biggest concern, and this is something that I can't tangibly prove via statistic or a stat or anything like that, but going run, and then punting after that pick six tells me that Clint will let the game dictate to him how it's called when things aren't going so rosy. And the Saints are going to be playing the best defense they've played all year next week. I think Kansas City is the best defense
It's
that
a
will play all year.
it's a
So
strong
for the season
assumption.
so far.
It's a
Well,
strong
but
assumption.
Carolina's defense isn't good. Dallas's defense is okay. Philly's defense, Atlanta's defense, and Kansas City's defense.
Hmm.
If you even if you want to lump all three of those guys together, we've had problems with those three defenses already. And I can excuse the Eagles game because you were down
When have we had
personnel.
problems with Kansas City's defense?
When
Yeah,
we haven't played them in years.
I know about. Didn't you say we had problems with all three of those defenses or something?
Well, I would say that Kansas City at worst is on the same level with Philly and Atlanta's defense at worst.
Yeah, I agree. Different
And you've
game
had
though,
problems with
bro.
those
It's a different
defenses.
game.
I know, I know, I know.
It's
It'll be
gonna
a
be a
different
different
game. It'll
game
be a different week
plan,
and everything.
different game. sometimes, like I said in the last pod, sometimes offensive coordinator could just come out with an awesome game plan, dude. And it really doesn't matter how good your defense is or how good the other offense is. He just got you figured out. Sometimes it just works like that, man. So it's just it's so like easy to say we're going to continue to do what we did last week because it's just so fresh in our minds, and it's so easy to say that because it's just you want to say that that's going to carry over and it's going to be the same thing, but there
Yeah.
is such thing as changing too, and getting better,
Yeah.
and learning from your mistakes, and watching
Yeah.
good film on Kansas City and going in there with an awesome game plan that
Yeah.
has Derek Carr in good positions to make good plays, and our defense still being studly and not making as many mistakes and going in there and beating them. That's what
Yeah.
needs to
Yeah.
happen, man. And that can
I'm
happen.
not.
We have the personnel for that. And we have I believe we have the offensive coordinator for it, and we have the defense for it. So I don't see why not, man. I don't see
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
we're so gloom and doom and 2-3 and all this bullshit, man. Like we are a good
Oh,
team.
Mason,
And
because
Kansas
you're
City's
fucking
going
injured
in
as
there
fuck
and
at
no,
minimum,
Kansas
dude.
City's going in there and they're saying that team's fucking good, bro. We're not gonna go in there lightly because the Saints have a badass defense and they got this dude
Yeah.
Shaheed who could blow the top off of our offense, and they got Alvin
Yeah.
Kamara who we have to worry about, and he's got Olave running all over the place that we have to worry about. Like we're a team, bro. Have confidence in this squad, bro. Just because we make some mistakes in the first 4 games of a new offensive system doesn't mean anything to me. It means nothing to me. So I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I agree too. They can I said during the game, like we can steady this ship. We're like those big mistakes. I keep pointing them
Yeah.
out. I mean, we've been on it for a while. Like
Yeah,
the
we're
special
beating a
teams
dead horse here.
touchdown and the pick six, kick a field goal. Like again, we're so close, but
Yeah,
it's just
Yeah.
it's meant it's between the ears. It's mental. Like scheming, we got to get it together. We've had to overcome injuries, move things around, and we're still so close to being 4-0. It's very early in the season. These things, when you kind of step back and you look at the season as a whole, you look at these and it really looks like you could just learn from them more than they are sort of demoralizing to the team to
right.
doom them that they're 2-2
Yeah.
after 4 games.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I look at it pretty well. Like it's not like you were complete Jekyll and Hyde. Like yeah, you came out, you blew the doors off of them, but you were never out of the 2 games
Yeah.
that you lost. You were right
yeah,
there the whole time. You should have won one of them.
at
You
least.
shouldn't have won the other, even though you had the chance to.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not. I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility of being able to be corrected.
And
To
to your credit, Trey, I see where you're coming from in a lot of areas, and I understand why you feel the way you feel because it's
Yeah.
easy to feel like that. Because I mean, we still got Dennis Allen, who we know is a great defensive coach, but we all know he's kind of shaky at head coach, right? And
Yep.
yeah, making
the
these big
morale
time
of our
decisions.
team, and I mean that's
Yeah.
our head coach, and like who's behind the morale of our team right now?
Yep.
Is it Dennis Allen? Is it Clint Kubiak? Is it Derek Carr? Who's the real leader on the team right now? I don't think it's Dennis Allen, and that kind of sucks to say about your head coach, that he's not really the leader out there. I think he's just kind of like he's a great defensive play caller. He just knows the X's and O's of defenses, but I just don't think he's that morale guy that Sean was, if we're going to compare, and that other coaches are. I just don't think he's that guy, that leadership role. So I think that's where your hesitancy comes in. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I can agree with a lot of your doubt because of that factor there. But man, there's just so much there's so much like difference in last year that makes me
Yeah.
optimistic.
Yeah. I'm gonna bite my tongue.
Okay.
It's a
I was
callback
trying to give you
to
the benefit
earlier.
of the
No, it's a
doubt, dude.
callback to
I was trying
earlier.
to.
It's a callback to earlier. No, it's a callback to the Derek Carr quote. I'm fucking with you. I'm totally fucking with you, man.
Okay.
Yeah. As much as I say it, I see where you guys are coming from too. Um, Nothing would surprise me next week in the Kansas City game at all. The Saints could come out there and blow the doors off of them,
Right.
and I wouldn't be super shocked just because Kansas City's offense is that bad right now.
Yeah.
I think their offense is in worse trouble than ours.
They're banged up.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd take our
Absolutely,
offense
man.
all day.
I think that
What do you think of
uh
Patrick Mahomes? You got
forget the Shaheed fumble. I think you're starting to see a 1-2 combo, receiver combo with Olave and Shaheed that are really starting to prove themselves. I think the Saints need a third and a fourth guy to really step up, and that person can't be Taysom Hill. Unfortunately, I can't rely on Taysom like I thought I could.
yeah.
That's an unfortunate reality we have to deal with right now.
I
He's
think
just,
I think it's all those hits are catching up to him, man. The way his play
oh yeah,
style, and
yeah.
you can't play like that forever. You just
He
can't do
has
it,
a
man.
chest issue because he's got too much heart, and it's finally catching up with him. Too much heart, it's finally catching up with him,
It's
and it
true.
sucks, man,
That thing's
because
just
I,
pounded in his chest.
I so badly wanted that guy to come through and kill some dudes this year, and he really has when he's
Yeah,
been on the field. I just
yeah,
I want I want to be wrong, and after 4 games, Matt and Mason are reinforcing their beliefs, and I'm reinforcing mine, which is pretty funny considering we're right 500 split down the middle and everything.
yeah,
So I know you guys think that the Saints have a really good shot at riding the ship, and I mean the schedule lot sets up pretty decently for you to look for.
I
I
don't
don't
even
think
know.
offensively scoring's down in the league this year, y'all. And I look at the offense we're playing
Yeah, for
next
sure.
5 games. Next 5 games, Kansas City, not a great offense. Tampa Bay, good offense.
Yeah,
Um, Denver, not a good offense. The
no,
Chargers, not a good offense.
no.
At Carolina, revenge game. That scares me a little bit. That Carolina game does give me a little bit of concern and everything, just because it's Andy Dalton and the Panthers got destroyed by us, right? Uh, then you get Atlanta, Cleveland, the Rams. Not great offenses back to back to back again.
Yeah,
And I really don't think
I
there's
can
a
believe
team
in
out
that.
there.
a lot of good. That's a good
I can
story. I
see,
could see
yeah,
that story.
I could see that going well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
I
not
could see
schedule
that.
sets
far-fetched.
up.
I could see that going more well than I can see it going bad. I can tell you that right
Yeah,
now.
the schedule
Real
sets
good at
up
that
to a
schedule.
point where at the beginning of the year, I was very concerned about playing teams like the Rams. I was concerned
Right,
with playing the Chargers. I was concerned with.
right.
I thought the Denver pick
Yeah, I
for
was gonna
voting
say
next
that's one that's the
I
other
wasn't worried
way.
about.
That's the
Well,
one
the
that's the other
Rams are
way.
going to
That's going
look
to be
different
such
by the
a.
time they get to us anyway. They're probably going to have
That
Puka
I'm
back
getting
and Cup.
when Sean Payton comes to play, and we'll do this a little bit more. When Sean Payton comes to play Dennis Allen, I'm gonna get Waterboy vibes. The two coaches in Waterboy going
Yeah,
at each other, and Dennis Allen is gonna be Henry Winkle, just like
yeah.
so confused. But yeah, man, the Saints can turn it around. I want to have faith, and you can really go a really long way by pulling this out of your ass next week against Kansas City. I don't think they do, but at the end of the day,
Who that baby?
I do understand where you guys are coming from, and who that for sure, who that for sure. So this will be where we end brain trust. We went a little longer than normal because
If you're
we're
still here,
just
thank you.
just yeah. If you're still here,
Yes.
thank you, like, subscribe, and share. Peace out.